What's up, music makers? This is Luke from Sojourner Tracks at sojournertracks.com. Today we're talking about fades. I'm kinda faded, but I feel alright. Thinking about making my move tonight. Yeah, you remember that song from 2000 and whatever? We're talking about 3 different ways that you can fade and 3 different ways to use fades in Logic Pro. And I'm going to go through them quickly, but if you want to skip ahead, I will leave timestamps so that you can get your specific question answered. So we're talking about number 1, fade in and fade out on audio. Number 2, we're talking about crossfades. Number 3, we'll be talking about automating fades on the master track and or MIDI fades. So fades for your software instruments. So if you want to skip ahead, I'd be sad to see you go, but by all means, get to your specific question. Let's take a look at Logic. So the first thing we're going to look at is a simple fade in and fade out. If you don't have your marquee tool selected for your command option, which is just the tool that shows up when you hit command, I would highly suggest you do so. It's really great for editing audio, saves a lot of time if you're chopping stuff up. So I'm holding command, using the marquee tool to get rid of the beginning of this audio, and now we're ready to add a fade. So shift, control, hold those down, click and drag in the direction of the fade. Same for fade in or fade out. If you continue to hold those, on the right side of the fade you'll get this cross tool that allows you to either extend or diminish the length of the fade. If you move the cursor to the left side of the fade, you'll get a shaping tool, so we can shape how the fade comes in. And this is just going to depend on what you're going for. If you right click inside of the fade, you'll get some options here. You can actually, instead of a fade in, you can do a speed up, which is going to be adjusting the time. So it's going to kind of rapidly speed up the time of the audio. That's more of an effect. If you are on a fade out, there will be a slow down option. So kind of cinematic effects, you've heard them all over the place. Also, you can remove this specific fade in and also remove all of the fades from whatever region you have pulled up. If you are going to be putting fade in and fade out on multiple regions at once, let's say I come in here and chop up this region with my marquee tool, and now I've got a number of different regions. This could select them all at once. Go up here to the region editor. Under the More tab, I now have a fade in and fade out, and I can just type in, say, 5 milliseconds, and you'll see a fade in and fade out was applied to all of those. So that can be really useful if you're going to be doing a bunch at once. Now, if we want to do crossfades, number 2, we want to have the drag option set to crossfade. And I almost always have this set to crossfade just because when working with audio, it's just a good idea to crossfade to avoid clicks and pops. If you're going to be cutting stuff up like this, pulling a transient down or trying to get rid of sibilance, or you blew into the microphone and created a big plosive sound in here that you want to get rid of, you want to make sure that you're crossfading those things so that you're not actually adding more noises, unwanted noise into your audio track. So with the crossfade selected, anytime you drag audio, anytime audio overlaps, it will automatically fade out the region on the left and fade in the region on the right. So if you wanted to set the region on the right close to where that transient comes in and then bring this one up until they crossfade right there, you can see Logic has automatically done a fade in and fade out for you. So that is the beauty of the crossfade. So if you'd like to apply a fade to the master track, a great example of this would be if you want to apply a fade out to your entire song, what you need to do is come up here to your mixer control and see here your master track. If you right click, go to create track, that will actually add the master track into the arrangement window. So what you can do from there is bring up your automation tools, and let's say we wanted to add a fade out to our song here. And all you need to do is create 2 points by clicking on this line. So we'll just drag the right side down. Now you can also use the shift control and you can adjust the curve of that fade just the same way that you would on the audio fades. But this is going to apply to the entire song. So you can do fade in, fade out, and this would also apply to your MIDI tracks. So if you wanted to have a fade in on, say, a software instrument with your automation tools, same concept. You just create 2 points, do something like that, and then shift control to adjust the curve. If you found today's content useful, if you like my rendition of 2000s boy band covers, or maybe you just like my wife's taste in plants, please hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate it. I will have more content coming next week, and I hope to see you then.